Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome to Cosmic Chix. Hope you
Yeah,
guys are feeling well and smelling well. Christmas edition. As everyone knows, I am your co host, Heather Lynn with Heart Alchemy, and we have the
Samantha Psalm with higher self healing energy.
wonderful, wonderful. So, Samantha, are you ready to get into the energy bill of gifts? And what are you really paying for these gifts this holiday season?
Let's go.
All right. Well, as everyone knows, unpacking the invisible contracts in every wrap gift. So, we're going to talk about what it costs as we're giving this holiday season. So, welcome back, Samantha. I'm super excited that we're here this week with a new episode and we're diving into gift giving just
Yes.
right in time. But before we start, hands up if you've ever opened a gift and immediately felt heavy. Not disappointed, but heavy. Yes. And it was weighed down by something you couldn't name. And that name is what we're discussing this week.
Mhm.
So, Samantha, what are your thoughts on this week's podcast? What are you like as far as gift giving and stuff like that?
I'm
What are
so,
your thoughts?
oh, sorry, Heather.
Go
I'm so
ahead.
excited about us diving into this topic because, you know, just because you got offered a gift doesn't mean you have to receive it. And us being listening to our intuition and feeling those energies, hey, not everybody is given from the heart. So, uh,
True.
So, and you're receiving a gift from. And if you do, it doesn't, you got to take it home with you.
True. True. Absolutely. And, a lot of times you think about the time, money spent, and the effort. And when you get, like some of your gifts, like I bought gifts for someone where I spent a lot of either money or personal time thinking that they would like
Yeah.
it. And it was just like flat or just not the reaction.
And
Um,
excited about your gift, and you're like, dude, I gave you the most awesome gift. Like,
right.
seriously?
Yeah, it's like a psychic slap to the face, like, nah, I just, don't appreciate it. Because I think, you feel a little resentment after like all that. And that's what we're going to talk about is just how to get over that feeling and kind of how the gifts that we give have the meaning. So we're going to talk about three types of gifts tonight. The first one we're going to talk about and dive right into is the gift that you would give or receive from someone that genuinely is from the heart. It fits who you are, it's authentic to you, and it feels home. So these gifts are called cleared channel gifts, and they're gifts that flow through the heart and it's kind of like the holy grail of gifts when you get that at Christmas. So that is the first gift. And what energy, I know what energy I feel when I get the holy grail gift. I'm like, yes. How are some of your childhood reactions of getting like that best awesome gift from someone that you loved or someone special?
um, it's, it's, it's bliss. It's very organic. You know what I mean? You're just that joy and that light and the twinkle that you feel in your eyes, right? That is a natural clear gift.
Yes.
Especially when you're in so much joy and love with it.
I always feel light, like my heart is just light and feathery, kind of like, it's like very light. And I guess that's a good explanation of the energy that we're moving into in 2026 is, people are like, oh, things are. what was happening energetically is we're just lighter because
Like,
2025 year of the snake, we just shed all that weight. So we are much lighter energetically. And a gift can actually, so, can actually represent that. So it's something your intuition sings about. There's no thoughts whether or not you like it. It's sometimes I like them because, like you said, the pure joy, and it's in the offering, and
yeah,
you're not receiving to get or getting to giving to receive.
there's no more
So
of that.
yes, yes, yes. Now then we have a couple other gifts, because we're discussing that this gift is more light, right? Because it's coming from the clear channel of the heart.
Yeah.
Now, as we, what would be one of the gifts that you've received that has been from the heart, or a clear channel gift that you hold special?
So a gift that I actually received recently was from an established client that I had for this year. Very stressful year for this client. I won't go too much in detail dealing with the law. And recently she reached back out because she found a letter that she didn't know was in her house, was basically saying if she didn't do this by this date and this time, that her court case wouldn't go in her favor. So
Mm-hmm.
into it energetically, just put speeding up here to Cliff Notes, and basically her spirit said there are behind the scenes that are working in your favor that you don't know about, and that it's going to work out better than what she thought,
Mm-hmm.
and that when she's done, to buy her lawyer wine, because she knows me. And um, I was talking to the lawyer's ancestors, and that's what they told me to tell her to buy. And in my
Yeah.
beginning of this year, she asked me when this, not make this up, Spirit always tells the truth, when this court case was gonna be a wrap. Now, mind you, this was like in June when I first saw her.
Mm-hmm.
They said not until after November. She was
Okay.
very, very disappointed because she wanted, of course, like anything else, to speed it up. So then, anyway, I told her to keep her energies high. This is in November when she came back to me, when she found this letter and was scared. Now it's like I could go in her favor because she didn't know about this unseen letter. And the spirits had that letter hidden so she can believe in the process and not stress.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I would say felt like a week later she texted me and she said, "You won't believe this." And this is now December, okay? So just got November into December. She said the lawyer texted her and said, "This is nothing but a miracle. It went into her favor. He doesn't even know how it happened." And his words were like, "This is a miracle." So
Sprinkle the magic.
I
Behind
know.
scenes
And guess
magic.
what? I mean, when we were, I didn't know at the time. Spirit said it had to be after November because that was after retrograde.
Yes, and everything was moving
Yeah.
forward.
So when I was doing this, I
Because
thought about
everything
this.
was under review, because
Yes,
she had to let go of her attachment to
yes,
it, and had to go through the process, and had to
yes,
relive all the experiences to let go. That
yes. So
retrograde.
that. So at the time, she was mad because she was like, "Why is this being dragged out?" The spirit said it had after retrograde.
Wow, amazing.
Now speed it up. She was so, of course, ecstatic. happy Christmas miracle. Can't make this up. Thank you, spirits and the ancestors of that lawyer too for working with us. Uh, that that she came by and she gave me what was from her heart. I know I think you guys can't see that, but it's a little
Yeah,
just
beautiful.
I can't
Yep,
see it.
you can see, nope, you can see it perfect. You're good. It looks amazing. Yes.
We appreciate it, and it came from her heart, and I love that lady so much. So shout
Yes.
out to Spirit.
Yes.
Gotta trust the Christmas magic. You gotta trust Spirit from the unseen forces that you're not seeing right now because you're not supposed to. They're doing their magic behind scenes.
I have a story about that, and that's my Christmas miracle because
Okay,
yes,
love
and I
to
have not
hear
told
it.
anyone this. I have not told anyone this. And your girl did some twinkle dinkle magic in the car because I was like, I don't know if they're gonna tow my car and try to take my ass to jail or what. Hold
What?
up. No, here's why. Because so my car's totaled and I was basically driving somewhere. I've been still my car is fine, but I was driving it, and of course I got pulled over because I was going to get on the highway, and I blah blah blah. I knew the cop was behind me, like I knew he was going to pull me over. So when he pulled me over, um, he was like, and they didn't even say anything about my car being total. So I was a mess like that. But he thought I had, I think he called a second cop because he thought I had some drugs, which was my rose quartz on my,
Oh,
on my thing. He's like, we came back. He's like, what's that, ma'am? He's like, what's that vial? And I'm like, vial? What are you talking about? Vial? I looked at him. I'm
oh,
like, the
it
only
was
thing
for
that I have is legal. You know
prescription
what I mean? And
file.
I'm like, wow. So, but he had another cop come because I really thought they were gonna. So when they went back, I saw what was up, and I was like, Spirit.
So
I was like, hold up. I put my protection on, and I just literally, hang on, Sam. I amplified my light and just shifted the energy from my heart, and I just thought about it going 30 miles, and it was just like whoosh. He came back and was like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. Here's your license. Here's a warning." Because I was trying to call my insurance company and everything. Girl, I thought I was going to jail for my rose quartz.
oh Lord, send out the frequency of love.
Well, once I handed it to him, he went back to his car and came back and gave me a warning. And I'm like, I was like, dude, I'm just trying to get my handle fixed. I was like, I'm fine, I was more nervous because my car's totaled and it says that the car's undrivable. And he didn't even say, girl, he didn't even say anything. He was like, he's like, I wasn't even worried about that. He was like, I was worried why he went from this lane and then turned over. I was like, well, I turned my turn signal on and I was going to get on the highway, and because I was going, I didn't realize I can get where I was going this way. I don't care if you're a cop, I'm still getting over and you can pull me over and we're going to have the same conversation. You know what I mean? Because I didn't
Yeah,
do anything wrong. So
no.
anyway, yeah, I thought I was going to. They were about to search my stuff over, so I was literally like talking to my guys. I was like, "What do I?" I was like, "First, calm down." I was like, "I've not done anything." I started alchemizing the energy because he had some, them with them being cops, they have energy around them. So I was alchemized a little bit, and then I just sent out that hard energy, and that was my gift. Though was the warning and it was like, you can go, ma'am. I'm like, thank you.
They're
So
like, you were about to go to jail over some rose court, girl.
I'm telling, well, because I'm telepathic. So when I kind of was like, okay, so I knew there was something weird, but I didn't know what he saw in my car of why
Yeah,
he had the weird vibe because I didn't really think that he would think that my rose quartz was drugs.
right.
But
Because
I caught the vibe and I was like, I didn't do anything wrong. So when he came back, he did ask me what the vial was. So I was like, oh, that's the energy. Because I
here,
felt it.
I offered it to him, like, here you go. This is for you.
You know what? I should have because they do need that heart coherence protection. And with my Reiki, that is blessed to death. That would maybe protect them from
High
other
vibration.
things that he hate. Yeah. So I'm totally down with that. So now the next gift is not so nice. It
Yes.
is the wonderful energy that comes with invisible weight, the infamous I owe
Oh,
you.
you.
Those gifts are
You.
just
Oh.
transactional. It's giving out of obligation. It is definitely not from the heart. So it's basically I have something for my car coworker, or it's loaded on with unexpected language, like it came from somewhere of some aunt or grandma or grandpa, or it came from this person. It just has a bunch of history that comes along with the gift,
Mhm.
and they really, or they don't really want to get rid of it. So it's, there's some weight that goes to it where
And
the energy exchange. So, what are
yeah.
your thoughts on the
Uh,
IOU gift,
while you're
Sam?
I definitely feel like us ourselves and our viewers definitely experience this as well. But while you're talking, my guys are showing me like tug of war, like somebody at the other end is pulling the rope with more muscle, right?
Hmm.
So that represents what we are talking about now, right? These gifts, whew, I mean, the back in the day old version, Sam, would have bent over backward to find a gift to match or go over what they gave me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The competition. Or like oh, hold on. What is that movie where the boss gets all of the gifts and then he's like at the end of the table and there's like a whole bunch of gifts? Oh, a lot of them are that way. Like a big business owner, and he like on Christmas Day he gets like all of these gifts. Oh, it was a Christmas Story.
Okay.
No, it was European's Vacation, where he went to his boss and he gave him the present, and he had a bunch of presents there, and he's like over there and didn't even know his name. Why did he give it? Hang on. So this is the kicker in the movie. Why did he give it? Because he thought he owed his boss a gift because
Mm-hmm.
he thought that he was getting a bonus for
Yeah,
Christmas.
I remember that movie now. That is
Yes, that's the perfect IOU gift.
bonus. Ooh.
Right. Yes.
Oh.
Um, so and another gift that you definitely want, like an IOU gift, or would be
And I'm just gonna pause you right there and just make a comment. I had
yeah,
to learn this, and I think we all learned this, but now it doesn't bother me like it used to because when you're given a gift, it's without expectations of anything back, especially when you give from the heart. So when you give from the
right.
heart, there's no expectations because you're giving from your heart.
Right. Well, and honestly, if it gives you anxiety, the anxiety should honestly, if it's an anxiety about money, how am I going to pay for this later? But I really want to give it to them to make them happy. And then you don't get the result that you want.
Yeah.
Or better yet, you give them something that you don't want to give them, or like you don't want to give up. Let's say like it's an heirloom or something like that.
Yeah.
But you give it away to expect to get something in return, and then the other party doesn't appreciate it.
Man,
Um, just
that
the same as you would.
especially when it's a family heirloom that you
Yeah.
it's like your grandma's spirit's probably like, no, she didn't just give out my dishes to her and she ain't even using the box.
Uh, yeah. Well, you know what though? That's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it is. Or just okay, I'll give you an good example um of these. So, my daughter should have thought that it was a clear channel gift, but she received, I gave her grandmother's real silverware.
Oh
She didn't
wow.
even want it. Dude, she didn't even want it. It's under my sink. I'm like, you don't understand A, how expensive this is, B, how meaningful it is, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow it to not be utilized. So you know what? This Christmas, I want to get them bad boys out. We're going to use that
Oh,
IOU
right.
gift that I was trying to give her, and and it was really from my heart, but
In it with love. Yeah, that's
I'm
awesome.
just, she'll appreciate it later. It's just she's 22. She's like, "What are you giving me silverware for, mom?" It's like giving her, so
Yeah, no, I've been there. Like my mom, when I were younger, my mom was always trying to give me stuff, and I'm like, it's like she was always preparing for her to die to give me everything, and I'm like, okay, this is
well, I just think that's a Virgo thing because we just are always prepared. Like, if it happens, it's already taken care of. Boom, boom, boom. Just do this. So what has been so I'll just go ahead and go first. So the biggest IOU gift that I have given um, would be to my ex-husband, my husband, because it was more um became a debt gift, right? When I was married a long time ago, because gosh, this was years ago.
Mhm.
But I think I bought like rims and tires, and I was like $1,500, which was not a big deal back then, but that was um but then he curbed them, and it was like seeing all that money go, it was like it was fun while it lasted, and then it was just like, oh, just like a lot of, it's the clear channel gift. You definitely get it for lifetime, and you get that feeling.
Yes.
He enjoyed it, but it was very expensive, and it was more, we needed it. So, but
Yeah.
so what's one of your? And that's because most of my gifts are usually from the heart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that's like probably the
Well,
most expensive thing that I thought that I could do, but
hard, right?
because it was more transactional. It was very bland and just not a good. I don't know, in my opinion,
So at the
that
time,
year.
give it from your heart, Heather.
Yeah, it wasn't really from my. It was just it was more of like an era, like a rash gift, like, oh, let's just flash him. It was more about being flashy and not logical, because it really cost us a lot of. It did cause a lot of heartache because of the money we spent. Because I could have went and did like a $500 set, but I went overboard, and that
Or
was,
moment you felt so excited and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get him all the bells and whistles. I'm gonna get him the best tire sets ever.
hmm
And
until the bill came in, until January, when the bill
so
came in.
oh, okay, yeah. And then you're
So the
like, it's
reality hit.
okay, it's the moment, but now I got this bill.
So, well, that's what I'm saying. That's so the IOU gifts are
Yeah,
all about you buy them now and you pay later.
yeah,
Whether it's your energy, your time, because I had to make up a lot of time to pay up for the extra, because as I learn now that I was over giving, because I definitely didn't never get no $1,500 gift in return. Not Oh, there we went. No harm, no foul, but but that just showed me where the imbalance was. Looking back, I'm like, oh, I see that.
I was done.
So no more IOU gifts.
Yeah, I when you have a perspective like that, I have done that plenty of just like spending, feeling good, buying everybody and their mama, and then oh, there's somebody, my brother's friend came that I don't know, and I need to buy him a gift and his wife a
Yep.
gift. Hey, you don't know
Oh, yep.
about, right? People that you
Yep.
don't come in unexpectedly, right? And then you get that credit card, and you're like, ooh,
Yep.
all these credit card companies with interest.
Oh yeah, and then add on top of it, they didn't like their gift because it wasn't what they wanted or what. Because kids today, we think of gifts. These kids want electronics. You get them some like a book or something like that. Don't get, or they're gonna look at you like what is this? Some of them
What?
wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Not
You
all, but
know.
I
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying. No,
Oh,
I agree. Now this year, I will say for me, like I have changed. We have changed because
mhm.
our spirituality, and we understand on a more heightened level as we're rising as a collective what it means to give from your heart, and that
Yes.
could be your time having a beautiful conversation,
Mhm.
getting a cup of coffee, cooking together, going
Yep,
to
like
coffee
tonight.
and grandma in 9 months, and you just made her day. You made
Yeah.
her.
Oh, yes, because guess what? And that's one thing I wanted to say too, is go visit your grandparents because if you're not like, once your kids are out, they don't necessarily come because they have their own family and their own Christmases and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we get busy. And then we forget that they are parents too, and that they did do a lot of work and put a lot of effort and love into
And
raising us. So, mhm. And we're the only country that actually does not, um, basically, like in other countries, the elders, basically the younger kids, the younger generations will take care of them, which is nice. But the IOU gifts definitely come with a lot of weight
yes.
emotionally, energetically, and you can tell also when you're getting an IOU gift too, because it's elaborate, it doesn't justify the occasion, and it makes you kind of ask, what
What?
do I owe you in return?
Yeah.
Right? And not always, but um, you know, if you question it, then there's probably more to the story from the buyer because you're picking up on that energy exchange unknowingly. So, um,
For sure.
all right. Now, our third type is the heaviest, which is the karmic load gift. And
Ooh.
this one, these are dense. And this is the guilt gift. The giving that you give because your family has always exchanged gifts, like you said, Sam. And though that you guys don't connect, and it's really about keeping up the appearances, keeping
Yep.
up with the Joneses. So, this, really this actually happens in a lot of families. And I think what happens with these kind of gifts is a lot of people want to gift cards. I think the gifts have actually changed. I think when we were kids, you know what I mean? But no, this would be more something today, would be more like an heirloom that would be passed down. Um, but it really has a story behind it.
Mhm.
And not only one person's story, but a whole family or a lineage of stories, that pretty much come with that particular heirloom.
Mhm.
And when you think of it, depending on the circumstances and the family or what happened and the exchange, or the individuals utilizing or wearing this jewelry, because it's going to be, jewelry absorbs energy if it's not cleansed properly,
Mhm.
and so it's going to have that energy on it. And what are your thoughts on heirlooms and karmic gifts that pretty much have, maybe
My,
may feel like a clear channel, but not understand the complexity of the karmic aspect of it.
I mean, I'm just like thinking, like filling something out. Maybe you got grandma's necklace, and when you that time period before grandma died, she was really sick and sad, and you're picking up a
Hmm.
lot of her sick and sadness because when she was wearing it, she was sick and sad all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
gotta go back in and bless that heirloom for your grandmother for that, and then put healing in that timeline where she was sick and sad, so you're not picking up those energies where you're wearing grandma's necklace.
Yeah, but let's say you weren't aware of it. I mean, because let's be honest,
Uh,
a lot of our viewers are just getting into awareness of how energy is. Well, for me, I wasn't aware of it. I
I
wasn't aware of it personally. Like when my father passed away, I was guided not to take any of his stuff. I
mhm.
did not understand why. And not that there was anything bad. There was nothing there that was meant for me to carry forward because it was all in here. Um, but like some of the
I
pictures that I had, I gave them away because it was just, I felt that
that's
energy.
yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the whole time when you're talking about this, when it comes to heirloom, for me, is like when somebody passes over, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
heavy energies, and I could talk about my family. Like when my grandmother passed away, people were upset that certain people got certain
Yep.
things, right? And then you hear this a lot, not even with my family, but you hear this a lot, fighting over the material things or disappointed or upset afterwards. I can remember with my family, I'm like, they can have whatever they want. I have my grandmother's memories and her love.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
I wasn't like, you know, I wasn't like that. That's what's important is the
Yeah.
memory of and from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
because my dad had a bunch of knives and stuff like that. And, they asked me if I wanted anything. And I was like, give it to the grandkids and everyone else that might want it. Um, but, him and I had that discussion beforehand. And it wasn't anything bad or, like I didn't want anything. It was just there were five of us.
yeah,
So, and I was already taken care of. I owned an insurance business. I didn't need any of it. You know what I mean? So I was well taken care of. But I do have his, um, he keeps, um, newspaper articles. And
mm,
there's one like of the old Jesse J, or there was one old one where one of them, it's like they're getting like a special edition that I kept of them.
that's cool.
And then one from 9/11. But I'm going to give them to my sister to give to my nephew because my nephew was really close to him. So, and I got to think about that. I'll bless it before I do, though, to make sure I'm not giving him a karmic gift. My nephew's autistic and he channels my father already.
Aw,
So, yeah, one day he looked at me and my dad was channeling straight through him because he looked at me and he was like, Heather, what are you doing? And like I could just see like there was a whole
Yeah.
shift.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I know Mikey channel, you know what I mean? But so yeah, so the karmic gifts, if you get a karmic gift, like Samantha said, if the gift feels heavy, like you get an heirloom and there's some baggage that comes with it, you definitely want to cleanse the heirloom before you know, especially if it feels heavy before you like as soon as you are connected to it. Because jewelry can hold a lot of energy. I had when I was learning about my gifts, I touched so a lady's piece of jewelry, and it it put me in a psychic attack. The only one I've ever had, and I learned very well how to protect my vessel, and to know that when you are upset, do not go into open spaces because you're easily open and exposed. But bless it. You can cleanse it with. Go ahead, Sam. You
I was
about to
gonna
say?
say, you take the item, take it, close to your heart, and then talk into it as well, and you just speak into that item. Like, I bless this for my ancestor, that when they had this item, I thank my ancestors for blessing me with this item, that it always protects me, gives me good luck, good fortune, that it is a high vibration. You're going to speak that breath in that item and honor your ancestors. And with that item, your ancestors is always going to be with you, working in your aura field for your highest good.
Yes.
And
And usually you can.
when you speak into it, blow into it.
Yeah, because you're breathing your energy into it with clarity and divine light. So, because you are the clear channel.
And you are your
Um,
ancestors. So you're
yeah,
lifting ancestors' vibration up and yours.
yeah. Um, Now, let's say that it's not so nice. What I've done, because there's some, let's be real, because there's always that. Um, put it in a bag. Um, oh my gosh, what kind of bag, Sam? I'm
Oh,
the
sure.
satchel.
The mesh looking bag.
Yes, I know what you're talking about because I have them. La, 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 and put selenite in it, and then speak into it, pray over it,
Yes.
speak light into it, let it know that it's loved, but it's not welcomed, and that the selenite
You
is going
dissolve
to.
and you eliminate any low vibrations in that item.
Yeah, and you call them the ninth dimensional beings to invite in for assistance because well, I've had to do that one time with some stuff that we had got, and or if some like, I'll give you an example. My karmic jewelry, and next year I'm not even going to mention the name, but this was very recent. My ex bought me a necklace, which was actually it was a beautiful necklace. It was a little stone, but he said that it was a sex stone. And yes, and it was for my birthday. And it wasn't for Christmas, but it's still a very sentimental time. And it had, so this was my karmic gift. And there was a lot of weight. So it was supposed to promote fertility and femininity within the relationship and stuff like that. To me, though, it meant more than that. So basically, when I recognized what the intention was with it, I put it in a burlap bag. That's what it is, burlap
Right.
with selenite. And I used the burlap bag because it would close out. And I spoke into it. I was like, keep the darkness in, but allow the light to shine through so that it would always be shining light, but it would keep that energy contained. Um, and the burlap sack. Now you can bury it, you can get rid of it. But and these are going to be on things that are let's be honest, that aren't necessarily our fun job that we
You
want
know,
to do, but have to do because it's necessary, because of the intention on the
yeah,
other side of that gift. And the intention is very strong. So it could just be an intention that made that piece of heirloom or gift, not on the most highest vibrational frequency. So,
yeah.
but yeah, that's the only karmic gift I've ever got, was that piece of jewelry. Everything else, I pretty much was guided either not to accept. I didn't understand then, but I understand now.
Yeah, you know for sure.
Right.
And now,
Okay.
there's a saying, just because the path is paved in gold doesn't mean it's good.
True. Absolutely. And I was going through a lot of upgrades of that time, and I was really questioning my intuition. And well, I wasn't really. I knew what was up, but that's what I did, because I knew once that necklace came in my frequency, there was a lot of dissonance. So I knew immediately once it was
And
in my field, I could feel it doing something, because, well, what it was is I felt the energy. And when my mind starts trying to solve problems that aren't there, that I know aren't mine, I know something's up.
well, and that's when you and I would advise, like what in our audience is that okay, energies change. What recently has changed in my energy field? Oh, I just got this necklace.
Yes.
Okay, tune into that. Ask yourself very black and white questions. Is
Yeah.
this low or high vibrational necklace? That's a very black and white yes or no questions. And
And
get it.
actually, and Sam, and maybe sometimes, okay, because I'm the opposite. So I feel. So basically, when I ask something, like, I ask, how do I feel about it? Like, does it make me feel light or heavy too? Because not every, you know what I mean? Like sometimes, as your intuition's coming on, they may not have that connection yet. So it's more
it-
like
when you're
they could.
asked,
You
when
do
I
both, I guess, is what I'm trying to. You
oh,
do both.
because
Yes.
you're asking the spirit, you're asking your higher,
Yes.
and then you got to go into feeling your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have to match. I mean, they have to, because I'm a feeler. I mean, I don't, like how you see and ask. I mean, I do, but I feel it. Like
I'm a feeler too. That's how I get.
yeah. But not everyone has those gifts, is what I'm saying. So for the ones that don't have the gift, those kind of get, or they're coming online, because a lot of people are going to be coming online this year.
As those
Ask those questions. And then when you're asking those questions, listen to how your body's reacting to those questions.
true.
Feel, close your eyes. I'm a physical, that's how I work, because every emotion that's tied to this piece is, you're going to feel it in your body. Sometimes you have to close your eyes to feel it. You know what I mean? When you're asking yourself, but I would do both, just like, how does it feel? Is it dense, or is it, because you'll know, just like the word, a word, love, it feels light, and then the word hate, it feels kind of dense. So it's kind of, as you start working with it, you'll understand what feels off, and your higher self will tell you as well. So, um, Sam, any other advice on that?
And spirits talk to you through your body and your mind. So if you're saying, how does this feel, right? And then they
Mm-hmm.
electric pulse, a vibration, a frequency,
Mm-hmm.
lower back, you can go to that lower back and ask your lower back, what what's the message that you're telling me in my lower back about this necklace? You can get even
Yeah.
more deeper, you just don't
Yeah.
have to stop. But you have to
Right.
be wishing and to be patient yourself as you're strengthening your gifts.
Yes. And I'll be honest, if you're not receiving, again, if you're not that tapped into your body, because it does take work to start getting these messages and getting the right messages. But I love that, Samantha, because how I started is my guides would send a little ding to my body, and then I would go look it up online, like what
Mhm.
it was, and it would be that exact emotion.
Yeah.
So so you'll get messages. So like you said, it'll definitely let you know when you ask, but you kind of it's a sensory process
It's like
for sure.
they're sending you a spiritual hunch, right? But you got to be the one to solve the riddle.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is that a lot of people have never been taught that, though. I guess
That's
is
true.
what I'm saying, because that was like I didn't start doing that until until I learned QHHT, and then I recognized that I could even speak to my body and that it would respond. So, I mean, it's definitely um, but something that's necessary during the holiday season, because you don't want to be coming home with gifts that come with a lot of weight. And
No.
Samantha's done a great job at explaining, the things that we can do, breathing in, talking to your ancestors, showing them love and reverence. And then the scenario that I gave you about the burlap bag, calling in the divine light, keeping all the darkness in, and then just kind of keeping that energy in until you can maybe take it into more of a sacred space to bless it. If it has more, depending on what you want to do with it. Now, um, since we are wrapping up the year and
Okay.
talking about the energy of Christmas and stuff like that, we're going to go ahead and be wrapping up 2025, the
Yeah.
year of the snake, and moving into the year of the fire horse. And that is going to bring a lot of energy. And the things that Samantha and I are talking about are going to be tools that were going to be very important for our community to be able to pull out of their, spiritual toolkit and be like, okay, Sam and Heather told me that when this goes down, this is what I do. You'll
Yeah.
always have at least an ideal of how to keep your space protected, your soul sovereign, and ways of, how to work with the energy,
Yeah.
upcoming. Because next year, Sam, do you know anything about 2026 about the fire? What do you know? Well, what do you see about the symbology on horse? I know that
For
I'm just going to
moving
let you,
for
huh?
what you're saying is moving forward with strength and beauty, right? And power, right? That
Yes. Yeah.
fire is gonna enlight it, it's gonna ignite, right? It's gonna, my guys are showing me, it's like moving through like a train. That's what I see. That's what my guys
Yeah.
are. It's
You know
not gonna.
what's funny
What?
is 2026. So it's the year of the Phoenix.
Oh.
So it's going to be, yeah, it's the rising Phoenix.
Oh
And
wow.
you can think about it. There's going to be a lot of moving energy. Fire means that we have to be careful with the heat within our own souls. Make
Like
sure that we're breathing and use,
place, you're saying that like
huh?
the fire behind you in your fireplace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but it's also basically steadfast movement because
Yeah.
all planets are going to be moving forward, all in new energy by the end of next year or by the middle of next year. And there's going to be a lot of change. So, I just want to wrap up with just giving you a little bit of insight before the new year, and then we're going to jump into our next 2026 events and stuff like that. But next year, the first 6 months is going to be the opposite it was last year. Last year, we came into January and it was like crickets. It was so slow and, nothing was moving. This January is going to be feet on the pavement and run. And you are going to our community specifically, because we're healers, you are going to have to make sure you plan time off, because there's going to be so much movement.
Woohoo!
Not only movement with us, but with the collective. So when we help the collective transmute and transcend the energy, which means we're going to be filtering a lot of the fire energy. So a lot of fire breathing is going to be important. Meditation, which Sam and I are going to be hosting a lot of workshops that are going to be presenting a lot of the things as we're moving through this energy next year. So a lot to come in 2026.
And Heather, I would like to say for Heather and I, if Heather wants to chime in too, we are so thankful for 2025. That's when me and Heather met and became really good friends, and we have done so many magical events, classes, and met so many beautiful souls together. She's definitely my soul tribe sister, and I am so thankful for 2025 because you're one of the many beautiful souls I got to connect with my soul fam. So thank you, 2000.
Yes. And then Samantha, did you want to briefly share before we talk about our next episode, your grandmother's ritual? Since we are not going to be meeting before the new year, but we can kind of, leave 2025 with style.
Yes. So I will just, if you feel aligned or you feel like you want to try a new ritual for 2025 on your manifestations, I'm going to honor my grandmother, my ancestor, that taught me the night before New Year's, on New Year's Eve, that you get a paper and you want to get a pencil, because that is from Mother Earth. That's grounding.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to write down what you see yourself already doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my grandma didn't say that, but we would write down what we wanted to manifest. And my grandmother then would take, well, she did not do this, but this is something I would recommend because cinnamon is abundance. Is putting add my own ritual on that, something new. Sprinkle some cinnamon on your letter, fold it up. Okay, I add my own spin to my grandmother's ritual, and then put that in a secure box, right? And my grandma would put that up for the year, and then next year, when it was time to do the same thing, we would pull that out and be like, "Whoa, okay, I didn't know I wrote this. Wow, I accomplished that. Wow, look at me, right?" So that is a family ritual from my grandmother. And if you feel called and aligned to do something for that, for yourself and your family, please do so.
Awesome. So in this show, we break down the invisible energy exchange behind every gift. Woo, wasn't expecting all that energy exchange, were we?
Yep.
We explored the 3 energetic gift types, the clear channel, which is the gift from the heart, the Karmic-Load gift, and the simple, expensive pre-gift, yeah, the IOU gift. Now the pre-gift, the pre-gift check-in is always something that I would try to do moving forward as you're moving through the holiday season. So now, next year, Samantha and I are going to be introducing the beginning of the year a couple of big announcements.
Let's go.
And yeah, we're super excited to pretty much expand the podcast and to actually start building our wonderful cosmic collective community. You are going to start seeing next year, our focus is going to be building our community the first part of the year. And just really excited to have each and every one of you there. And we're just going to send you off with some holiday love and cheer,
Yes.
and hope you guys have an amazing end of your 2025.
If
And
you
we're going to see you next.
Heather, and if they enjoy this podcast, right, please put in the comments 2026, or tell us what your family ritual is to bring in the new year.
Yes. And Sam, I'll go ahead and put that in the comments, so that way that'll be in the host notes and everything. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And next year, we'll keep you posted on all of our weekly events. But Sam and I are pretty much slowed down for the rest of the year, and we are officially on some downtime. So, we'll see you next year with full steam. One love.
Thanks to all. We love you.
All right. And recording. Hang on.